What up, y'all? This your guy, Marc Lovell. I just want to hit y'all up real quick and let y'all put something on your mind real quick. Now, me being from Chicago and doing a lot of traveling and meeting different people all over the country, I'm always asked about the violence in Chicago and what can we do to stop it and why is it going on and so on and so forth. Now, I want to let y'all know something, and if you didn't know, and if you do know, bear with me if you listen. And I know people say this all the time, oh, it's a plan, it's the Illuminati, it's the New World Order, and blah, 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 blah. Well, it's all of those things, but it's even deeper than that in the sense of why certain things happen in certain demographic communities. If it's 30 and under, or whatever the case may be, and it seems like the consensus and the mindset is always the same nowadays. Everybody feels one way towards the same situation. Everybody is listening to the same type of music. Everybody wants the same type of shoes. Everybody has the same sort of hairstyle. Men and women, boys and girls alike. And it doesn't matter color. It's 2018. All that color shit is just used for propaganda purposes and to cause a distinction in unity, to combat unity, basically. Now, here's something this is what I really wanted y'all to think about. Now, minorities, so to speak, whether it's any race except the Caucasian race, are all pretty much at the mercy of the lawmakers, and we all know who the lawmakers are, whether they're actually a part of that upper elite fraternity or they're just cogs in a wheel. Either way, they're all contributing to the same thing. And the point that I'm getting to is this. Why is it that so many people of color are incarcerated when we're considered a minority? Think about it. If your race makes up even 60% of the population, which it doesn't, but just say 60% for hypothetical purposes, and your race, as far as the prison population, is at like 90%, 80 to 90%. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that Planned Parenthood and abortions and birth control? I just posted something the other day on social media. Well, it wasn't the other day, it was a couple of weeks ago, where they had Plan B, the morning after pill. They selling this shit at Walgreens or CVS like it's fucking bags of weed. 2 for $15. They selling this shit like that. There's a reason why they don't want large families anymore. There's a reason why they don't want, people to have multiple children in the household. And it is about money, but it's not about money. It's about not having to sacrifice their money or money that they feel they're entitled to or that they'll get later on down the line. If you get a budget for $600 million and it's supposed to be allocated towards, urban development, community programs and stuff like that. If you don't have anybody participating in this, then you can still do it, but you don't have to spend as much money. So as opposed to spending out of that $600 million, as opposed to spending 300 or 400 million of that on just development and paying the teachers and the counselors and stuff like that, as opposed to doing that, if you don't have anybody participating in it, then you can still build these facilities. They don't have to be as large. They don't have to have the equipment in it. They don't have to have the computers in it, and so on and so on. And you can spend $150,000. Then you can put the other $450 million in your pocket, or spread it down the line. Spread it out, grease palms, and that type of thing. So you got to think about why the situation is like it is. It is the people who are doing it, because you get people saying, well, they're the ones who's doing it. They're tearing up their own communities. I mean, if you're frustrated, I'm sure most people love the shit out of their spouse. Husband, wife, whatever. But you still snap on them or snap at them sometimes, right? Because you're frustrated about some shit that happened at work or some shit that happened outside or whatever the case may be. You don't just detest them and not like you don't want to be with them or you don't love them anymore. It's the fact that you're frustrated. So when you got a situation to where all you see on TV and hear in music and movies and stuff like that, all you see is these people prospering and living great lives and you're looking at it like I'm more talented than them, or I can do this better than them, or at least give me a chance to see, and you're not afforded those opportunities, you'll get frustrated too. And a lot of times when people get frustrated, they act out or they lash out. So that's the biggest problem as far as the general mindset or consensus in society right now. Now, as far as the younger generation of kids, the quote unquote millennials, most of them are just looking for validation, man. I mean, if we made being a good kid cool, if we made getting good grades and getting a citizenship award and or being the most friendly person in the school, if we made those things cool, then that's what all the kids would be doing. That's what they would be posting on. There would be videos as opposed to fighting videos and videos of people yelling and screaming and pointing guns and talking about how tough they are. You know, it would be a lot less of that. No, it wouldn't stop it. And I'm not looking to stop anything. I just want balance. But back to what I was saying, if you made those things like being a good student, getting good grades, being a great student athlete, being a good mentor to junior high kids if you're in high school, and if you're in middle school to elementary kids and not picking on them, we made that shit cool and made that shit go viral, then that's what all the kids would be doing. But they don't get that validation from doing shit like that. They looked at as a lame or a cornball or a Buford or a Goofy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But we look at, as a society, we applaud and encourage, whether indirectly or directly, we encourage all the immoral negative shit. If you on video smoking weed, that's cool. You get a bunch of likes and you get a bunch of people saying, man, want to match and all this other bullshit. So they get validation for that. You get validation for talking about you going on a drill and you going to hit this dude and you going to do this to this person, or your gang or clique is tough guys and these other clique, every other clique is pussy, and if y'all not cool with them and all that, that shit is glorified. So if that's the only way you can get some type of notoriety or feel like somebody gives a fuck about you, then that's why these kids are going to do that. That's why they do that. And it's not always the parents' fault. A lot of time these parents are busting their asses trying to work 2 or 3 jobs or you know, just maintaining, keeping a roof and heat and electricity and food in the refrigerator, keeping that going on so they can't be at home to watch their kids. You know what I'm saying? I know from when I moved from California, I was born here in Chicago. I moved to California, my mother and my little brother. And then a couple of years later, I went to 4th, 5th, and 6th grade in California. I went to La Tijera, I went to Kelso, and I went to Daniel Freeman. And after that, I moved back up here to Chicago with my pops. You know, so I was afforded things that a lot of people aren't, because, yeah, my mother was struggling or whatever, and my pops was, you know, he was doing what he was doing, but I had the necessities. I didn't always get what I wanted, but I always had the necessities, pretty much. I'll say pretty much. When I was with my mom, I always did. Always. And so do my brothers and sisters. My pops was out, you know what I'm saying? My pops died in 89. He was only 36 years old, you know what I'm saying? I was 17, you know, so I didn't, right at the time where I needed my pops, he passed. So I got into a lot of other shit, and thankfully, because I went that route and I went out in the streets or whatever, my uncle, my father's brother, he gained me on how to survive out in the streets and how to do this and that. But I never had anybody telling me, you know, you should figure out what you like to do and you would do it for free if you didn't have to worry about money and then go after that. That's the shit I tell my kids, and I tell other people's kids this shit too. I tell grown people that, you know, because I think that's you're not really working if you're doing what you like. So people need to figure that out. But in this day and age, people can't even figure out what they like, because if you don't like what everybody else is liking, then you're kind of shunned or whatever. So anyway, back to what I was saying as far as with my pops. When I moved back up here with my pops was out and he was doing whatever he was doing, and he worked in the city and we lived in the suburbs, and he worked in the city. So a lot of times he wouldn't be at home, you know, but by the grace of God and by, you know, my family structure, I was always taught, you know, right and wrong. Whether I followed that all the time, which I didn't, but I was always taught right or wrong when I was a kid. So I knew that it was wrong for somebody to bully somebody. I knew that it was wrong for somebody to just pick on somebody because that's the only way they can make themselves feel better. So I never did that. And I never was the type to follow up behind a group of people. Now, if we were friends, it was me and 4 other guys, and we were friends, then yeah, sometimes I would do some shit that they were doing or go someplace that they were going. But it was never an obligated feeling to me. I never felt like I was obligated for me to fit in or for them to accept me, for me to have to go and do the shit that they do, everything that they do. Because I'll tell a motherfucker no in a minute. And man, I'm not on none of that. I'm not going. Y'all go ahead, hit me up when you get back. I'm finna go up to the park district and hoop. You know what I'm saying? So I learned how to, when I didn't want to do something with this group of friends, I would go with my other group of friends because they may be going to play basketball while these dudes going to go start a fight or go looking for trouble, trying to steal bikes or whatever the case may be. You know, if I didn't want to do that, I didn't do it. And every kid doesn't have that. Even adults don't have that skill set. So they tend to follow what everybody else is doing just to be cool or just to fit in. You know, peer pressure is a motherfucker. You know, I've witnessed it and I've had it kind of placed on me, even when it came to like smoking weed and shit. Early, I didn't smoke no weed until after high school, and my friends were smoking when they was in 8th grade. You know, but I never did. It was just something that it wasn't like, oh, that's bad or it's not healthy for you, it's illegal. That wasn't my thing. It just wasn't something that was attractive to me. You know, I'd rather go play basketball or go mess with some chicks or something. You know, I would rather do that, you know, than get high. And it's like, even back then, like if somebody got high all the time, we didn't really rock with you like that wasn't cool to us. We wanted to be outside, riding our bikes and walking, playing softball or basketball or something, messing with chicks or whatever the case may be. Everything pretty much except getting in trouble and getting high. You know, and now it's like, all you do is get high. All these kids do is get high. You on Snapchat getting high. You on Facebook getting high. And you getting high not just off of weed. Y'all doing cocaine. Y'all doing mollies. Y'all Xanax, Percocets, lean, loud, liquor. You know, everything. So for somebody to wonder why these kids are doing shit that's irrational, it's because they got a chemical imbalance. You got all this shit in you. How can you make a rational decision if you got all this shit in your system? That's not conducive or productive state of mind to be in every day. And after long periods of use, of course, it's going to have long-term effects. So then you get the cycle repeated and repeated and repeated. So when people say that, you know, it's just this community and these neighborhoods, they're bad, you got to look at the bigger picture. Just say, like, y'all know the commercial that used to come on late at night with Sally Struthers, and it had the sad, somber music with the kittens or the dogs, and they were freezing cold, and they had the music, and she was like, we gotta help these kids, or we gotta help these kittens, or we gotta help these dogs, or whatever the case may be. And you felt when you watching that shit, you like, damn, it's fucked up. All these motherfucking dogs out here in the shelter. I always wanted a dog. I think I'm gonna go adopt a puppy. You know what I'm saying? So it puts you in that mindset. So people are easily programmed. If you keep seeing something or you keep hearing something over and over and over and over and over again, it becomes second nature. It's natural to you. Like you could be in a car listening to a song. You drive home every day. It take you a 30-minute drive. If you get off at 5, you might get home at 5:30, 5:45. So you commuting that way. And you're listening to, you hear a song they playing on the radio every day at that time during your commute home. And you don't like this song, you turn from it a lot, then it's on the next radio station, then come on, then you let the shit play. And you do this for about a week or so, and you hear this song all the time. You don't even like the song, but you'll find yourself singing this shit and know every word to the song, and you don't even like the shit because you've been programmed. So with that commercial, they program you to be empathetic or to sympathize with the situation that's going on. Now take that same commercial and put some rock music or some hip hop music, some drill music or whatever behind it, and show the cats scratching at babies or the dogs foaming at the mouth, chasing a kid down the street or chasing a kid on his bike. And you watching this shit and you like, man, we need to get rid of these motherfuckers. Lock all that shit up. It's the same thing they do with poor people or urban communities. They show you the shit that they want to solicit a response from. They show you that same shit. Now, if they showed these kids that they show them with guns and gang banging and talking this and that, if they showed these same kids, they put some somber music behind it, and they showed this guy opening his refrigerator and ain't shit in it, and his mom at work, and you know she can't leave work, she don't have no money, they don't have no other family that's really gonna help them or whatever, and you show a kid walking to school in the wintertime, it's snowing, he got on a little jacket, if a jacket at all, his shoes have got holes in them or his boots got holes in them, he don't have no gloves on, you'll be like, man, we need to do something about this shit, man. I got some old gloves, or I got this, and I'm gonna find out who this guy is or who these people are, and I'm gonna try to help them out, because that's how it would be, that's how it was presented to you, to elicit sympathy and empathy. But they don't do that. They show you the shit that they want you to see to make you react a certain way. So y'all got to wake up and think about this shit, man. It's right in front of you. Don't listen to me. Do your own research. Google and YouTube is a motherfucker. It's a very useful tool if you choose to utilize the tools that are afforded to you. We didn't have the internet back then. We had a fucking card catalog. We ain't had Google. You had to take your ass to the library and go through all these card opening drawers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got all of this stuff available to y'all now. And I'm not just talking about kids. I'm talking about adults too. Like, always try to, don't take my word for it, or don't take this next person's word for it. Just think about what you want to know about and Google or YouTube that shit. And you can find opinions on the left side, and you can find opinions on the right side. You can find opinions in the front, you can find opinions in the back about any subject or anything that you want to know about. Just do your research. You'll go look up somebody's shit on Instagram to comment and talk shit to them. So why not do the same thing? And like I say, I'm not trying to make it all one way or all another way. I just think that we need balance. We don't have any balance right now. Everything is all this way or it's nothing. You know, you either got to be a Republican or you got to be a Democrat. Why can't you, like me personally, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I like some of the point of views that they have on the Republican side, and I like some of the point of views that they have on the Democratic side. I just believe in right and wrong. You know it's not right for rich people to get all the shit and all the breaks and everything to help them, and then poor people who need it the most don't get shit. It's just like if you become a celebrity. When you grinding to try to become a celebrity or to get into Hollywood or get into entertainment business, you got to pay for shit. You got to pay for your marketing. You got to pay for your promotion. You got to pay your manager. You got to pay for every fucking thing. You got to pay to get in. You got to try to get a VIP pass, and you got to do who knows what to get that. But once you get on, you go to these award ceremonies, they giving you gift bags full of shit that you couldn't even afford maybe 2 months ago. They giving you all of this shit when you can pay for it now. It don't make sense. It doesn't make sense, but it makes their fraternity that more appeasing to people. So I want to get in that. I want to be where they are. Okay, well, if you want to be where they are, then this is what goes along with it. And a lot of times people have no clue. They want to be stars and they want to be in Hollywood and they want to be in entertainment and blah, 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 or gangs or whatever. But you don't understand what come with that. So before you make a decision to subscribe or sign up to be a part of something, you should do your research and figure out, is this something that I even want to handle? Because we as human beings, we can handle pretty much anything. We're creatures of habit and condition. So once you do something long enough, or you're around some shit long enough, you get conditioned to it, and it's not a big deal. It's just like anything is difficult before you know how to do it. Tying your fucking shoes was difficult until you learned how to tie your shoes. Now it's the simplest shit that you do every day. You know what I'm saying? Besides breathe oxygen and fucking speak and use the bathroom. You know, tying your shoes, that's the easiest shit in the world. But when you first were trying to learn how or being taught how, it seemed difficult as fuck. So it's the same thing. So you have to, it's difficult to reprogram yourself to not go for everything that you see and not believe all this shit on TV. It's not a reality show. It's not reality if they can yell cut. So stop taking this stuff so literal. It's for entertainment purposes only. And some of that shit is not entertaining to me, but to somebody else it may be. And that's their prerogative. You know, but take that shit for face value. Don't take it as literal. You know what I'm saying? Because these people are getting a check for performing, you know, so there's a director, there's a producer, there's people who write storylines. It's not reality television. You know, they use that to lure you in. That's a marketing tool. You know, you have to do your research on stuff. And like I said, man, I just felt like I wanted people to understand that a lot of this stuff that goes on in poor communities or urban communities is all population control, you know, and population control and money. If I own a basketball court and I let everybody play on it and the rims get tore down and all this stuff, and I got to keep replacing them, you know, at some point I'm going to be like, nah, y'all can't play up here. Or I'm going to start charging you. I'm going to take it down, or I'm going to start charging people, right? So if I start charging you to play basketball here, then only the people who really want to play basketball is going to come here, right? So if you're in a community where the picture is painted, or you're conditioned to feel a certain type of way, and you don't give a shit about your community, then the property value goes down, right? So the landlords are either gonna make these communities better and get some security around there, or they just gonna let the shit dilapidate and just hold on to the land and make it non-livable. These buildings and these apartments and these houses, make them where they can't be inhabited. Then they can sell that shit at a profit to somebody who's gonna make you pay to come play basketball. If you want to live in this area now, where it used to be $600 for a 3-bedroom and a basement and all that shit, now that shit is $2,500 a month for that. So only the people who have money and care about their shit for that $2,500 a month is gonna come up to that basketball court, i.e. the house or the apartment or that community. So it's the same principle. So you have to look at it. They're giving you the tools to fuck yourself up. They want you to fuck yourself up so you can get the hell out of there, and they can sell it and make a profit and get some people in there who give a shit. So yeah, you have been conditioned to, not give a shit or be hopeless and feel like my only way out is robbing, drug dealing, or getting in the entertainment business, or getting into professional sports in some sort. So that's all your options are. So if that's all your options are, let's go down that. Okay, one, you're not going to be a professional boxer, fighter, whatever, if all you do is smoke weed and cigarettes and drink all the time and you don't train. So we can eliminate that. So now you have an actor, a rapper, a singer, or something like that. You could not fucking know how to read and be successful in that as far as notoriety success. But handling your business and all that type of shit, that could be a problem. So now these are your only options. So when they make these artists put out songs that tell you it's okay for you to be promiscuous and fuck everybody, and it's okay for you to rob somebody and treat people like shit and just try to get yours. But they don't tell you, you do that shit, you might get away with it for 50 times, but that 51st time when they catch you with that shit, or catch you shooting somebody, and you gone for 25 years, what you gonna get? A free bro t-shirt and a couple of shout outs on songs and some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't hear people talking about Tupac or Mike Tyson when they was really locked up. I mean, you did. You heard them, but you didn't really, wasn't nobody really riding for them like that, except the people that really fucked with them. But the fans, they didn't really give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, people still today, those two people, and I just thought about that. Those two dudes, you know what I'm saying? They were incarcerated unjustly over some chicks saying that they raped them. I'm Mike Tyson. I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. I got $1 million fucking dollars. I got $200 million. Who the fuck I need to rape? Bitch, even if you didn't want to give me no ass, you gonna give me some ass just because you want to kick it with me that night. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't took no pussy. Pac didn't take no pussy. You know what I'm saying? But they went to jail for that. And even people who knew were still riding and saying, calling people rapists and shit like that. Tupac didn't even get charged with rape. He got charged with forcibly touching the buttocks. But y'all put rape all over everything. You know what I'm saying? And people say that still to this day. Oh, he raped somebody, or he did this, or he did that. But again, when you're a person who's influential and you got a lot of people who will listen to what you say and follow with what you say, and just to even evoke thought, you're a threat to the system that's in place right now. If you can get enough people to pay attention to you, you're a threat. So you got to know that. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what you're signing up for. If you want to be an activist or whatever, or, get into, helping out kids and mentoring and this and that, you got to know what you're getting into. Because if you tell these kids something, they're going to expect that shit out of you, just like anything else. But with these kids, it's easy to break them and fuck them up for a longer time, because you're only a kid for a little while. So we all need to talk to and with kids, not at them. You know what I'm saying? We need to educate ourselves before we can educate them. So myself personally, I try to learn something new every day. If it's just a word, I try to learn something new. I try to get some other information, whether it's information on what to do or information on what not to do. I still try to learn and keep my brain. I like to do brain exercises. I play games like Bookworm on my phone, or, you got to spell words before the blocks explode. And it's a good exercise for you mentally. It keeps your mind sharp, and it builds an appetite that you always want to find out something. And if we just look at history, see, I'm a history buff. I like to find out where mistakes was made before, so I don't make those mistakes. It took me to shit, damn near into my 40s to find that out. You know what I'm saying? To really find out what would make me a better person or on that path to becoming a better person. And it was learning. It was learning shit. Because if you know certain things, you won't make mistakes that other people who don't make. And you'll look at things from both sides of the fence. And that's what we need to do. We all need to do that. It needs to be an everyday practice. We need to look at things from both sides of the fence. Even driving. Like, I know people that if you're trying to merge onto the ramp, onto the expressway, and a person won't let you in, I know people that will follow this person and harass the shit out of them because of that. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I look at it like this. If it means that much to you for me not to get in front of you, then go ahead, man. Your life must fucking suck for it to mean that much to you that you will risk both of our lives and other people around us with driving, because driving ain't no fucking joke. People die all the time over dumb shit, road rage and stupid shit. People pulling out guns and shit. So it's not that serious to me. I got other shit to live for. I got other aspirations. I got things that I want to do. I want to inspire people. I want people to listen to things that I say, or a project that I shot, or something I directed, or read something that I wrote and be inspired and be like, damn, I never thought about it like that. But now I can kind of see that. Let me think on this. Man, I could have did it this way. That's all my mission is, aside from doing whatever I can to get in a better position to take care of the people that I love. And when I say take care of the people I love, I don't just mean monetary shit or material shit. I mean like to show them different things that maybe they're not interested in or didn't think that they would be interested in until they tried it. You know what I'm saying? Until they did their own research and then make a educated evaluation after you analyze something. That's all my mission is. You know what I'm saying? I want people to stop doing dumb shit. I'm not trying to control nobody, but just stop doing dumb shit and being blind to the fact all the time about things that really matter. Why is it in today's society a fucking kid in 7th grade can tell you the last 5 men Kim Kardashian dated, or Khloe Kardashian, or any one of them that they dated, but they can't even tell you who the fuck the vice president is? It's something wrong with that. It's really something wrong with that. And it ain't just the kids. I'm talking about adults too, because it's just a bad time as far as what people deem important and what they don't. Anything as far as entertainment, that's one thing. But stuff that actually affects your lives and affect your grandkids' lives, I think people should need to be concerned about that. And, like I said, man, I just wanted to touch on that right now. It's going to be a lot more to come. I'm starting a new Compod. That's my comedy podcast. So it'll be funny stuff in there too, as well as socially conscious stuff, entertainment. It'll be everything, but it'll be called Open to Interpretation, because I think that everything is pretty much open to interpretation until you actually get into a conversation. So I could say something like, man, that dude's stupid as hell. You know what I'm saying? And somebody be like, oh, he called you stupid and this and that. It's open to interpretation, but look at the context I said it in. I said, that dude's stupid as hell. That means I could be talking about he's funny or he's crazy or whatever. It wasn't a derogatory statement, but it could be misconstrued. It could be taken like that. So everything's open to interpretation until you actually have a conversation. And I'm going to give people the opportunity to have a conversation with me about a topic that they may have had a question about or didn't understand what I meant by it or wasn't sure what I meant by it. So we'll be doing that too. So all that stuff is getting set up. But I'm going to put this clip out and let people check it out. And if you got any questions or you want to talk to me about anything, feel free to hit me up. All my information is on my social media at Marc Lovell as hell. Peace.